Hey everyone, welcome back to Sarah in the Universe. I'm Sarah, and today I am going to be reviewing a movie that is from the past, but I've never seen before. Guys, I have never watched The Strangers, the 2008 horror film starring Liv Tyler and Scott Speedman. Listen. Look, if you're, first of all, before I want to say, if you guys are subscribed to the channel, thank you for staying subscribed and coming back and checking out another video with me. But what I wanted to say was, if you watched my channel before or if you're new here, I am a horror fan, but I've become a horror fan within the past, like, over a decade or so. I've watched, like, different like horror movies and thriller mystery as when I was an adolescent, but I hadn't fully gotten into horror. I had my favorite ones, Scream, if you couldn't tell, there's Ghostface there in the back. By the way, I don't know how Pinup Girl got in here. I'm not sure how she got in here, but she's here. I don't know. We're just gonna ignore her and hope she doesn't do anything, okay? Anyways, I was in high school. Sorry, I'm just going to go on a little bit of like a background of why I hadn't watched The Strangers yet, and then I'll get into my review, I promise. But I appreciate you guys all being here. But so The Strangers came out in 2008 when I was in high school. And let me tell you, when I was in high school, I literally really could not watch any horror films that weren't super tame. And when The Strangers came out, I remember everyone, I remember seeing like the trailer for it, like when we go to the movie theater and stuff. And I remember, like, it looked so scary to me, the masks and everything. But the one thing that got me to, like, absolutely not watch it, other than how scary I thought it looked, was that it was based on a true story. I was like, are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? I hate when they do that. And let me tell you, one of the scariest parts of watching the film, the 2008 film, was right in the beginning where, like, these are based on true events. I was like, oh, heck no. That already sends me for, like, I can't with any horror film when they're like, this is based on true events. I am done. I don't want to know that. I don't want to know that this was real and that this happened and this actually could happen. Like, obviously I know a lot of horrible things happen in the world. I don't want to know about this. Okay, well, let's just let this be a movie. But yeah, I couldn't watch a movie. And Paranormal Activity came out around then too. I couldn't watch that either. Now I watch Paranormal Activity like no problem. But back then I was like, nope, not doing that. So this is why it's taken me so long to go back and watch certain films that I hadn't watched that came out back then. Now, if you guys are watching this in real time, you know that The Strangers Chapter 1 has come out. I think it came out last week or something. And I've seen a lot of talk about the film. I personally haven't seen it myself. I don't know that I'm going to go see it in the theaters right away. I think I might wait till it comes on streaming. But I've heard a lot of people's opinions about the film. So it's actually, I have to shout out 3C Films because I was actually watching his review on it. And what got me to also watch The Strangers 2008 right away was the way that he described it. He said that The Strangers, it doesn't do a lot of those like loud noise music jump scares. It's a very silent scare. And that, I love that. I'm going to get into that. And I was like, okay, I'm watching this. I watched it last night. Oh my gosh. Let me just tell you, I absolutely love the film. It is probably now one of my favorite horror films. I know, and I'm sure everyone has their opinions on it. So I would love to hear yours. But let's actually get into the review. Thanks for listening to that little spiel. I just had to give you some background info in case you were like, why haven't you seen that yet? And you said you're a horror fan, guys. I'll admit I'm a horror fan, but I haven't seen like everything, okay? Like I have my favorite stuff, and I'll never say I'm like the queen of horror or something like that, okay? But anyways, let's get into my actual review of the film, okay? By the way, this mask here, I don't know that's not exactly Pinup Girl's like mask from the film, but I don't know if this is like another character just inspired by her, but my mom bought this for a costume party one year, and it's always freaked me out. Like my mom always scares me with this. I don't know. She's here now. Anyways, okay. So just to get some general thoughts, and then I'll get into, everything from the film that I want to talk about. I really love this film. And yes, one thing that stood out to me, that what I really loved about this film, is that when it comes to the scares, by the way, I'm going to be talking spoilers from the film. If you guys haven't seen it, I know it's an old film. We're talking spoilers here, okay? That's just your warning. Okay. I loved the silent scares. The obviously iconic film is, is his name Scarecrow? I want to get the stranger's name. I know that's Pinup Girl, and I think there's Dollface, but I want to get their... Oh, not Scarecrow, Man in the Mask? Is that what his name? I thought I saw some people calling him Scarecrow. I don't know. I guess Man in the Mask then? like the male character. Okay. When he walks silently into the living room behind Liv Tyler's character, that was iconic, and that was so scary. And I feel like even though I had seen it, it's literally on the poster, like the one I put in the thumbnail. I wish I hadn't like remembered that or known, because I feel like they would have been much more scary, but I appreciate it. It still scared me. And so I can't imagine like people's reaction. I mean, I want to know if you saw The Strangers in theater when it came out back then. I want to know what was your reaction to seeing that scene. Because, you know, the other thing too, before I continue on with that, another reason why I didn't watch this film, it's a home invasion film. Let me tell you, out of everything in horror, the one thing, I'll watch a paranormal movie, you want to mess with ghosts, demons, I'll watch that. Real life monster slashes home invasion scares the you know what out of me. That is just such a freaky idea. That is such a freaky idea. And that's what I think is the scariest part about The Strangers and how they get in. They don't, you know, especially in the chapter one, or not chapter one, the first film, the 2008, is they didn't care about like, you know, yeah, they're making like noise in the beginning, like when, you know, Liv Tyler was like alone. They were like banging on the doors and stuff like that just to kind of like freak them out. But when they entered the house, they were like being as silent as we. I thought that was way more scarier than dropping some scary noise or scary music. In my opinion, everyone's gonna have their opinions about jump scares and stuff like that. I think jump scares it's kind of a cheap shot to do these like bangs and this and that. I mean, of course, if it goes along with whatever's happening, that makes sense. But I think you have to earn that scare more when there's no loud sounds or there's no scary music. It's just this monster. You know, I've seen the Insidious films do that. Tons of other horror films have done that so great, when you're just a character's there and there's like someone there and then they're not there anymore. Oh, that's so fantastic. This film, I think, just did such a great job of that, and it really earned the scares. I mean, I was truly terrified by it. I loved that. Now, my thoughts aren't going to be really organized. I just talk randomly, guys, so I'm probably going to remember things later on that I want to talk about, so forgive me. This is not very structured. Oh, another thing I should mention about me. I don't care for gore. And I know you're like, really, you're a horror fan, but you don't care. I don't I'm fine with the kind of gore that's in Scream. I'm fine with. I love slasher films, but I don't care for like gore, right? What's funny, I forgot to mention, I'll get into this later. I actually watched, is it the second one, Strangers Prey at Night? I think that's what it's called, but let me just check really quick. Yeah, Prey at Night. I watched that one before I watched The Strangers randomly, because, you know, I have Max, and I saw that and I clicked. I'm like, let me check this out. I don't know why I watched that one. I don't think it really matters, but I watched that one first. That one I thought was way gorier than the original Strangers. I like the Strangers one better. I don't like gore. So, you know, and I'll get into that. I still like the Prey at Night one, though. Like, that pool scene, amazing. I'm not going to fully review that one, but I'll, like, reference back to it. That one was way more violent. Now, I don't know what the fans, maybe some fans were like, I'm guessing, complaining from the original film that it wasn't that gory. Because I could see why they would think that. I didn't think, you know, we didn't really see the Strangers like really go at, the couple until the end when they had them tied to the chairs. And I have something to say about that too. But so I can understand from like the gore people where they were like, oh, I just didn't think it was gory. Because man, they made Prey at Night, in my opinion. I thought that was pretty gory. I was like, oh, I'm good. But it was a fantastic film. I loved how the Strangers had this like slow build up to finally getting the couple. And what was crazy about that, I'm kind of rushing to the ending, but I'm going to go back into things. I was shocked when it was daylight and they had the couple tied to the chairs and they take their masks off. And then they just go into like, you know, stabbing them. Because to the Strangers, it's like, it's a game for them. It's a game. I mean, I was shocked in the beginning of the movie when Scott Speedman's character, he goes out to, you know, run that errand and he comes home. They could have gotten him right then, right? They could have just taken him out right there. But no, they just let him go inside and, you know, find Liv Tyler. And they kind of made it the whole night to just have this like cat and mouse chase with them. And I thought that was really interesting, you know, really showed what, you know, they weren't on like a time crunch, right? You know, like Ghostface or someone, they're a little bit more like, hey, we got to get this done. But no, they were really like, we're just going to play with them because it's like, you know, it was fun for them. And how they took their masks off, they didn't care. They're like, they wanted them to see who they were. Like, hey, we enjoy this. You know, I thought that was crazy, but I loved it. And obviously, again, with I guess Liv Tyler's character, she wasn't fully gone, because when those two boys find them, also that was crazy too. And when they give them the pamphlets and they're like, "Are you guys sinners?" Oh, that was so good. That was so brilliant, I thought. And they just drove away like it was nothing. I mean, that's crazy. But yeah, so I guess she wasn't fully gone. And then I saw the extended, because I went on YouTube. I saw the extended cut where she's like crawling and she finds the friend's phone. I'm going to talk about the friend in a minute. So I don't know, is she alive? Is she gone? I don't know. I try to look for that information. I don't know what they said, but she guess she's the final girl, I guess. By the way, I love Liv Tyler in this. I thought she was so great. I kind of wondered what happened to Liv Tyler, and I looked her up. She's going to be coming in that movie, the Captain America with Anthony Mackie. She's going to be in that movie coming out. So I was like, oh, that's so great. Like, I'm glad she's, doing movies again. But yeah, I loved her in this film. I thought she was great. She had a great like scream. Like I think I saw a TikTok, because I've been seeing a ton of like Stranger stuff on TikTok since the new movie's been out, and they were saying that I think she got tonsillitis. Is that what it's called, from screaming so much in The Strangers? I thought that was crazy, but she had a great scream for horror. I was like, wow, like it scared me. Okay, so just going back randomly in the film, I thought that scene where Scott Speedman's friend comes from the wedding to pick. By the way, Scott Speedman's character. What's his character's name? I think I pull up. I need to call them by their like actual character names. Oh yeah, Kristen and James. James had like the worst night of his life. First he proposes to Liv Tyler's character, that like a friend's wedding, and he proposes to her, gets rejected. And then the strangers break into their cabin and fighting with them all night, and then he I can't say the words here on YouTube, but yeah, he gets it. He doesn't make it through. And on top of that, so he calls his friend right in the beginning, and he's like, hey, the proposal didn't work out the way I thought. Can you come pick me up tomorrow? I think he says, but the friend ends up coming earlier. And that scene was so great, where you see, the man in the mask, and he's like coming after the friend in the back, and I knew it that Scott Speedman was gonna take him out, because they're hiding in that closet, and I was like, oh, he's gonna get him, he's gonna think it's one of the strangers. And it happened. Scott Speedman takes the friend out on accident, and the stranger didn't have to do anything at all. And I thought that was crazy, but I was just thinking to myself, the strangers were probably laughing about that on the drive back home. They're like, can you believe that idiot took out his own friend? He thought it was us. We didn't have to do anything. I thought that was hilarious. I would love to know the strangers' reaction to that. They're probably laughing, honestly. They're like, So Scott Speedman's character, James, had like the worst night. Gets rejected by his girlfriend for the proposal. Accidentally takes out his friend. And he gets taken out by the strangers. Worst night for that guy. No one else, no other guys can complain now, right? I'm just kidding. Oh my gosh, worst day ever. But that was such a great, like, I loved how everything, like, it was just so great in this film. Like I said, the stranger showing up in the background of Liv Tyler in the darkness. She, no scary noise, nothing loud noise. It's just him taking out the friend. Oh, and how they wrote, the word like killer on the window after he takes out his friend. That was like funny. Like, they're taunting him at this point, like, now you're guilty of something. We didn't do that. That was genius. That was genius. I really loved it. I love the slow burn to when they actually start. I know probably people, like I said, who are into the gore stuff, they probably wanted more of that throughout the film. But I kind of like that slow burn. And then they waited till morning to take out these people. They were just like, we don't care that it's daytime and someone could walk in here and see us and they see our faces. We love this. Like, that, they are insane. Like, they are insane. They didn't care about being strangers then. They're like, now you know who we are. And the craziest line, right, the line that just gets me is when Liv Tyler's like, why us? Like, why'd you come get us? And they're like, because you were home. Terrifying. It was all a game to them. And I know that some of the fans who are making videos are trying to wonder who this Tamra is, because they always knock at the door and they're like, is Tamra home? So people are trying to figure out. Yeah, I don't know who she is either. Like I said, I've yet to see the new movie. I think honestly, like, I heard someone say that maybe it's just like their way of like they just need a reason to get them to open the door and talk to them so they can see who's like in the house, or like how many people are there to know what they're up against. I think that's probably it. I mean, maybe there's more to the origin story. I don't know. I'm interested because I'm guessing with the new films, like it's a new trilogy coming out. So this was chapter 1, so I guess chapter 2 and 3, right? So I'm interested in seeing like what they do with that, because it definitely seems interesting. I would love to know more about the strangers. Like I said, I haven't seen chapter 1 as yet, so I don't know if it gets into more of a backstory about the strangers and who they are and why they do this. But I think it's super interesting, and I really loved that 2008 film. I think it was great. I understand some people are divided on it, and you know, the other ones. I loved it. I thought it was great. I thought it was. I think it's super rewatchable to me. I think it's great. I think it was great. I really enjoyed it. So yeah, I just really, I was like, I can't believe I've seen it. And, you know, all these like new movies are coming out now. And I watched Pray at Night first, which, yeah, Pray at Night, let's get into it a little bit. First of all, Bailee Madison's in there. If you've seen some of my other videos, I talk about the new Pretty Little Liars reboot. The new season's called Summer School. Bailee Madison is in that. She's also in Pray at Night. She is phenomenal. Like, she's another like up and coming horror it girl. She is phenomenal in that film. I loved her character and like just everything she did. She was just, she brought it, and she's great in Pretty Little Liars Summer School. So if you're into horror, I definitely recommend you checking out that season. New episodes are coming out like right now. It's a horror show. It's not like the original Pretty Little Liars. It's way better. But yeah, that Pray at Night film, it was way gorier, right? It was the strangers were way more intense. So that one I was like, ooh, like I had to look away so many times, but I still really love this 2008 film. But yeah, I think is that all I wanted to say? I just like, I really loved the film. Like I thought it was so good. I loved seeing like people's like videos on it and everything. But I really enjoyed it. I think the strangers are such cool characters. Actually, when I was at WonderCon a couple months ago, they were promoting chapter 1. I think they were having a panel that day for the movie. I didn't go to it, but we saw the strangers like walking around the con. It was so creepy. They were just there, you know, and it was pretty creepy. And I think the marketing for the Strangers chapter 1 though has been unbelievable. I mean, them showing up on like people's Ring cameras, excuse me. You know, let me tell you something. I really hate, you know, I'm a night owl, so I could be up to like 3-4 a.m., you know, some days. But when I hear my Ring go off at like 3 to even 2 a.m., I'm like, who is out there? And it's probably just an animal passing by or a car or something. Freaks me out every time. And after watching The Strangers, I'm like, and seeing these Ring cameras of the strangers being on it at people's houses, yeah, I would lose my mind. I would lose my mind if I saw them out there. But nope, not today. Not today. I don't know. I just think that it's brilliant marketing. They've done some of the best marketing for movies that I've ever seen. Yeah, I think, was that all I want to talk about? The Strangers? I just thought it was so great. Everything about that was so, also, oh yeah. So, you know, like, I think it was the Friends car, right? There's like a crack in the window. I don't know if someone shot at it or if the strangers took it out, but I love how it was like a heart shape. That was so cool. Like, I just love the way that movie was shot. It was great. Super enjoyable. I had never seen it before, and I just wanted to tell you guys about it since we got a new Strangers movie, and I'm gonna have to watch that one now. Like I said, I don't know if I'm gonna watch it in theaters. I might wait for streaming. I'd love to know your guys' thoughts on all the Strangers films, the 2008, Pray at Night, Chapter 1. What was your favorite? And, you know, what are you looking forward to? What do you hope to know about the Strangers? I'm excited. I think this is, you know, a really interesting story here. Very scary, because that whole home invasion story is just so scary, so creepy. No, I'd rather I don't want to say anything. I don't want to jinx anything. But what I was saying is, supernatural stuff's one thing. Home invasion of like real people. No, absolutely not. Guys, I won't keep you here long enough, but just wanted to get my, you know my thoughts about The Strangers 2008 out here with you guys. And if you guys are new to the channel, I have a weekly show that I do called In the Universe, where we talk about different topics going on in Hollywood. And then I do other movie and TV show reviews, fandom talk on here. And we're definitely going to be talking about more horror movies in the future. So many are coming out this year. So if you want to stay a part of my universe, I'd love to have you. And for those of you who are subscribed and checking out another video, thank you guys so much for just staying in the universe with me. I love and appreciate having you guys here so much. Guys, have an amazing week. Thank you so much for checking out the video. I will see you guys in my next video very soon. Take care, everyone.